Yeah,
Ladies and
what's going
gentlemen,
on?
I'm gonna scroll through and I'm gonna find Hardy on my Zoom screen right here. Mr. Hardy, what's up, my friend? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How's everybody doing over on y'all's side of the internet?
This side of virtual, whatever it is, this new virtual world we live in, right?
Yeah, right. Crazy times.
Well, dude, first of all, pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for doing this. What we're experiencing right now is an FIT with the Zoom party, and our listeners have they've been freaking out about the opportunity to be able to be able to Zoom with you. So they all have a question for you in just a moment. What I'd like to know, my friend, is do you have anything around you right now? Like, I mean, it could be anything, just to kick off a little show and tell with us today. Anything around you with a ridiculous story behind it.
Um,
I mean, it could be anything. Are those Christmas lights in the background?
yeah, let me think of so I've got all kinds of stuff, but let me think of something really good.
Okay,
Uh
hey, while you're doing that, dude, I want to tell you, I just got my first adult mullet.
oh yeah, it looks good, man.
What do you
It
think?
looks really good. Yeah, it's good. It's tasteful. I got something. I'll be right back.
All right, okay, all right,
Uh-oh.
we're about to surprise you.
Ryder told us today that that's technically called the modern mullet. We found that out today.
Right, the modern mullet. That's a pretty cool office. All right,
Yeah, it is nice. He's got a nice chair.
He's getting us something special though. We did this with Lee Bryce too. I remember, and Lee Bryce showed us something really interesting. Oh, he's coming through. Wonder what he's got. Oh, dang.
This is my crossbow, okay?
Whoa.
Yeah.
The cool thing about this is I was at Luke Bryan's house one day, and we were writing a song, and we started talking about bow hunting. And I told him, well, I've never bow hunted. I've only rifle hunted, and never really got into it. And before I left his house, he was like, "Come in the garage. I got to show you something." And he had a crossbow hanging on the wall, and he just took it off of the wall and he gave it to me. And he was like, "Take this and send me a picture of a deer when you kill it, and just give it back to me whenever you buy another one." And I was like, "All right, thanks." So I've got Luke Bryan's crossbow in my basement, and I've been bow hunting all year, waiting on a good buck, and so it's pretty much the best I got down here.
Have you found the one you wanted yet?
No, not yet. I haven't really hunted a lot because it's been hot. It's been really really hot here still. It's like thunderstorming outside right now, so it's kind of crazy for this time of year. We had a little bit of cold weather, but I was busy and didn't really have a lot of time to hunt. But hopefully in November it's gonna cool down. The deer will start moving a little bit more.
Well, hey, man, I almost hit one with my car the other day. If I do, I'll send you a picture. You can move that on to Luke and be done with it.
Yeah, I can just Photoshop myself in front of it with a crossbow. Send it to him.
It's crazy you're talking about the warm weather down there. You know, we have winter storm watches. It's going to be snowing in the Pacific Northwest this weekend.
No way, really?
Dude, I'm rocking the flannel. I'm ready for it.
That's wild. So, I'm kind of jealous.
You have a very interesting story. So you went to Middle Tennessee University, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then from there, you know, what was your grind and trip to Nashville like? I know that you instantly, you know, you started, you're on the writing team with Florida Georgia Line. I mean, you've written for everybody. Morgan Wallen, you wrote Up Down, and then all of a sudden somebody approaches you and said, "Hardy, it's about time. It's time we hear your magic now." Right? Tell me how that sort of happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I graduated college in 2013, signed my first publishing deal, which is just a songwriting deal, in 2014. And it took about 3 or 4 years to really get some traction and get to know some people. And yeah, I was writing a lot with FGL, Morgan Wallen, and a few other people. And yeah, I started to get some success on the radio. And then Tyler Hubbard from Florida Georgia Line, and really more specifically their producer Joey Moy, called me out of the blue one day and was just like, "Man, I don't know what your plans are and if you're ever trying to like be an artist or whatever, but if you ever wanted to cut a record, I would cut a record on you tomorrow." And I had no intentions whatsoever of singing and making my own music. I was just a songwriter, and I took that as a sign, and I thought about it for a while, but I took it as a sign that if an opportunity like that has presented itself so boldly to me, that I should probably take that and see what happens. And so I did. And here we are. What year is it? 2020, of course. And
yeah,
probably 2.5 years into my whole artist journey, and it's going well.
As you're, you know, so early in your artist journey, 2.5 years in, then all of a sudden the Rona happens. You know, have you found time, you know, creatively to just build up your material? So when 2021 hits, I mean, are you just ready to unleash? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a lot of the record that I put out in September, most of that was written. All of it pretty much was recorded, but most of it was written and recorded during quarantine. And so it was kind of nice at the very beginning to come off the road and spend a lot of time, you know, at home and with the people that I write with, and really sit down and kind of finish writing a real record. But I'm definitely excited to start actually playing the record for people in 2021.
By the way, congrats on One Beer. I mean, Lauren Elena, Devin Dawson. I think it's pretty much, you know, my personal biography, by the way. Did you write that song about me? But anyway, and Lauren Elena, it seems she's like, you know, she is the go-to because her vocals are just so unbelievable.
So good.
Yeah, so good.
She's a great singer. She's one of the best. She really is a very underrated, I feel like, as an actual singer in Nashville. She's literally one of the best.
I'm going to get to the people who are waiting to chat with you. Each of them have a question for you, and I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to throw my my imaginary Zoom ball to Carrie. Carrie, I'm going to throw it to you, catch it, and you are on with Hardy.
Hey, Hardy. So my son wants to know, what was the hardest song that you ever wrote?
Oh, that's tough. Probably, as weird as it sounds, it might be Up Down, because we wrote the verse and the chorus, and then we kind of got stuck and didn't really know how to write a second verse. And so we sat on that song for 2 years trying to write a good second verse, and we finally got one nailed down that worked. So that was probably the most difficult to really get it completely done.
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you for that. Throw that Zoom ball back to me. Hey! I'm going to Joseph Bryant. Oh, I'll do it again. I'll do another throw. I went right past him. There you go.
He is.
Sorry, I'm on my phone, so I can't hear. I can't see all the screens at once. I guess I was thinking real hard what question to ask, and it's kind of tricky, you know. But so before you came out with your new album, which I'm in love with the rock sound that's mixed with the country there. But Hicks tape, you know, as soon as I saw the volume 1, I got super excited knowing that there's probably going to be another volume coming out. Do you have plans for a second Hicks tape?
Good question.
I cannot confirm nor deny.
That's good news.
Can't make an official announcement, but yeah, there will definitely be another Hicks tape happening. I just can't say when right now, but yeah, there's going to be another one coming for sure.
Well, thank you for everything that's come out. You're number 1 right now in my book. So.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Joseph. Chunk that thing back. Oh, and from there, going to Jenny, who's in the dark right now. Hey, Jenny. Good catch. Hit your little mute button right there. There you go.
Sorry. I don't have any questions really, but I was just going to say, just keep up the good work. You're doing a good job. Love your music.
Thank you so much, Jenny. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being on, Jenny. Over to Houston, Mr. Flannel. How are you doing? You're on with Hardy. Good catch.
My man, what's happening?
What's up, dude?
Not much, man. I got to say, I'm a big fan, a longtime fan of your music, man.
Thank you.
So my question for you, I'm a WSU alum. I got to know, and I understand you're a big Mississippi State fan.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Mike Leach being your new football coach?
I feel good. We got off to a great start, and not so great of a middle. I'm still excited. I don't think the pass game is going to work in the SEC as much as it does in the Pac-12, but I think he's a character, and I like him as a head coach, and I hope we keep him for a while. I think he's going to work well if we can just figure our offense out.
We miss seeing him on the news up here for all of his antics and
yeah,
his mouth.
He's fun to watch. He's definitely fun to watch. And you know what's funny? My dad used to work with Gardner Minshew's mom because he's from just a few towns over from my hometown.
You're kidding.
No, so I know I know his mom, and my dad knows his mom really well. And I've met him way back in the past when we were kids. But it's such a small world.
Wow.
Thank you for that question, Houston.
No problem.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Hey, Hardy. On your voyage to Nashville, and when things started, really kicking off for you, I always ask this: who was nice to you as far as a country artist? Which country artist reached out to you and said, "Hey, dude, it's a crazy town. It's a crazy industry. If you ever need anything, you call me." Who was that to you?
Blake Shelton kind of did that
Awesome.
a couple years ago. Just reached out, had me out to his place out in Oklahoma, and was just really cool. And yeah, he probably he was one of the first. There's been a few since then to reach out or just to be really cool, but Blake was one of the first guys that really did that. And he's a stand-up guy, and he's just like what you see is what you get, and
Yeah.
super normal, regular guy. So that's really cool of him, especially with as big as he is. He doesn't have to do that, and he does it.
Yeah. Over to Beverly and crew. Beverly, you're on with Hardy.
Hi, Hardy.
Hello.
Hi. When you write a song, when you very first start writing it, do you know if it's going to be you performing it or you have another artist in mind that you intend it for?
So that's kind of a tricky question because sometimes I have to sit on it for a while to wonder if it's something that I want to say. But for the most part, yeah, I know for the most part. And usually when I'm writing a song for myself, the way that it's been in the past, and especially for this record, is there's a span of about 6 months where I'm really conscious of writing for myself as opposed to someone else. So a lot of times I'll even start, in the room that day and be like, I have this idea and I kind of want to write it like a Hardy song, like something that I would do, But sometimes there's a song that I write and like, I don't really see it for myself, and then I hear it and I listen to it over and over again, and then I find out later that it's something that I would like to sing. Good question, though.
Thank you for that, Beverly.
Thanks.
Throw that beautiful imaginary Zoom ball back to me. Let me see that arm on you. Dang!
Double hander.
Woo! Over to Skylar King and crew. Oh, in the pocket.
So we talked about you've gotten to collaborate with a lot of artists on different things in different ways. Is there anyone that's kind of someone you're really excited about working with that you've thought about, that you have something in mind for?
I would love to. I don't know if it's a specific person, but I would love to like hop genres and work with like a rock and roll artist or even a hip hop artist or something different. I don't have really a particular person in mind, but somebody outside of country would be really cool to work with for sure.
Who would that be?
I really don't know. I mean, me and everybody else on the planet, but I love Post Malone. I mean, I know that's like dream collaboration, but
Yeah.
I think if we did like a song, like a rock song together, that would be so freaking cool. Super cool.
Yeah. Speaking of, did you hear Nelly and Florida Georgia Line's brand new Little Bit? Have you heard that yet?
No, I haven't listened to it. I saw a lot of the Instagram advertisements or whatever, but I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Why would you say, I mean, obviously, collaborations are huge right now, and collaborations have been going on forever. You know, even going back Tim McGraw and Nelly. But why would you say right now, it seems like more than ever, every artist is interested in crossing genres and collaborating with other people outside of the genre? I want to ask you, why is that so huge right now in particular?
I mean, honestly, I just think that country is so widespread right now, that people are just wanting to just grow their audience. I think, you know, country for the first time in the past, probably like including like in the last 10 years, has been such a broad spectrum of like the way the music sounds, and I think it's easier than ever, and it's growing. It's almost as big as pop music, you know. So it's easier for artists to want to come in and sing on country, because a lot of country is really progressive and it kind of sounds like pop, and it just helps the artists grow their brand a lot. I mean, there's a lot of Kane Brown has done it twice already. Florida Georgia Line kind of started that whole thing. I mean, back in the day, Tim McGraw did a song with Nelly, you know. I just think it helps grow the brand, and I'm all for it.
Hey, by the way, Joseph just held up a sign. He has a suggestion. He wants you to work with Steven Tyler.
That'd be a cool one. That would definitely be a cool one.
Over to Anna Young Lam, which is actually, I've been told that it's Lisa and crew. Go ahead, Lisa. Oh, look for that ball.
There it is.
You just killed the fly.
Yeah, come on. Ask him. Hold on, my coworker wants to ask.
Any future plans to be on the West Coast at all?
Say it again.
Any plans or any future plans of being on the West Coast at all?
Yeah, hopefully next year. If we play shows, if next year's tour works out, I will definitely be I'll be coming through the West Coast for sure. Hopefully the entire thing, including Washington. But I love Seattle, so I love all of Washington. I love that's a beautiful state. And yeah, Watershed. I was scheduled to play Watershed and it got canceled. Yeah. Hopefully I'll come back to that. So there's definitely plans. It's just if the COVID thing kind of eases up between now and then.
All right.
When you get up here, I could take you on my my famous cemetery tour. Like Jimi Hendrix is buried here. Bruce Lee, Brandon Lee are buried up here.
Wow.
I mean, it's some really cool stuff.
That's wild.
Carly and crew and all the kiddos. Hey, you guys, you're on with Hardy.
Kiddos?
Hi. We want to know, what was your favorite sport in school?
Sport?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it's golf. I love golf. It's one of my favorite sports. I mean, behind football, it's probably my favorite sport. But that was what I played. I played golf in high school, and we were really good. We were a bunch of redneck kids, but we played golf all the time, and we would go around. We'd beat people left and right. It was really fun. But I loved playing golf in school.
You want to tell them yours?
Mine is wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Are you a wrestler?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. All right, if I get in trouble and up there when I'm playing a show, I'm gonna call you so you can come whip somebody's butt. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, well, you're looking at a state champ.
I love it.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hardy, who would really surprise us? Like who is an unbelievable, as far as an artist is concerned, that you know about? Unbelievable athlete, maybe an unbelievable golfer, but somebody who just he's got some skills.
Colt Ford is the best golfer in the music industry.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
In the music industry, not just country.
No, in the country music. But I mean, he's a scratch golfer, so you don't get better than a scratch golfer. So he could be.
Colt Ford?
Colt
wow.
Ford. Yeah.
Mind blown.
Colt Ford. And then George from Waterloo Revival is also really good. Jake Owen's a good golfer. But I would say the most athletic all around that I've ever met is Chris Lane. That dude can do it all. He's very athletic.
He can hit the baseball. He could place the golf ball where he wants it. Right.
He can do whatever he wants to do. He's really good.
Also has a modern mullet kind of as well.
Yeah, he does. He's got the soccer mullet.
Right. What about you? Are you mulleting right now a little bit? I see it in the back.
I'll just have like just regular long hair. I mean, it's a little bit of a mullet, but I have the COVID haircut, man.
Oh yeah.
I haven't really done a lot to it in a while.
Over to Drew. You got a question for Hardy, Drew. Catch that ball.
You got one more. You got Jared before me.
Oh, sorry. Let me see. Oh, there's Jared. Jared, I'm sorry I missed you, my friend.
What's up, brother?
Go ahead, man. You're on with Hardy.
Oh, you got an actual ball. Let's go.
Hey, Hardy. How you doing? Hey, first off, both as a father and a firefighter, I appreciate the video for One Beer. That's a great little song. Good little video.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm assuming that you probably cut your teeth a fair amount in the early days playing Broadway down in Nashville. So I was wondering what your favorite club down there was to play.
Dude, you know what? I actually never did that, believe it or not. No, I thought about it a couple of times, but I never actually got into playing Broadway. But a lot of my friends did, and Hunter Phelps, who y'all probably know, he's sang a song with me on Hicks Tape, and I've written a lot of songs with him. He always played Tootsie's, and we would sorry, I know there's kids on here, but we would go to Midtown and we would get really drunk, and then like right at the end of the night we would go down to Tootsie's and watch Hunter play, and it always made his day or his night, because we would show up at like midnight and be like, yeah, Hunter, and like a group of like 10 of us would just roll up in Tootsie's and be three sheets. So but no, I never did. I never really did the whole Broadway thing. But a lot of people do, and it really works out for them.
Cool.
Great question. All right, now Drew, what you got?
So we talked earlier about like your rock-based sound on this current record. In the town, like from your end, do they kind of ask you for what they want, or do you just come up with what you'd like to do, like what you're feeling right now? Or they say, hey, could you be a little more pop, or could you be a little more rock, or how's the process work for you?
No, Big Loud gives me full creative freedom. They're really good about doing that with all their artists. You know, if they see someone's natural instinct, they tell you to run with it. And this record is about as raw of what I think that my sound is as it can be. I think it took a little bit to dial that in. You know, I had 2 EPs, and Hicks Tape is a little different because it's more of a party and a little more lighthearted. But yeah, this is all me, and it's just what my true creative outlet is. So they do a really good job of just letting you do your thing. I think that makes for better music at the end of the day when there's no pressure behind trying to sound like a certain thing too, you know.
Who would you say? Man, thanks. Who would you say influenced your sound? You know, we've heard from so many. I think even FGL has made comments that growing up listening to NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys and all sorts of different kinds of music that they, a lot of that sound is influencing, even this new sound of country right now. So when you were growing up, of all sorts of artists from different genres, who did you love to listen to?
I loved Soundgarden and Stone Temple Pilots a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Washington, Pearl Jam and Nirvana and all that stuff. That kind of changed my life.
Wow. But
then like a lot of this record has a lot of like active rock influence. Like, I mean, a lot of the stuff from like the 2000s, like Puddle of Mudd is actually I love that band, and a lot of the bands that kind of catch a lot of hell now they call them butt rock bands or whatever, but at the time I was very, very into that stuff, and it has a huge stamp on my sound, and just I don't know, everything, metal, Mastodon. I'm a huge Nine Inch Nails fan. Just that whole area of rock and roll, and then the country just comes from my like growing up. I grew up country, but I grew up loving rock and roll, so it's just kind of the marriage between the two.
Aunt Claire, do you have a question for Hardy?
Yeah. What is your favorite place to write? Like might be a room or a piece of furniture or a house, or maybe it's even outside. What's your like most comfortable place to go and write and play and just be creative?
I'm in my basement right now, and this is pretty creative, but that's an interesting question. I really like so there's a really big songwriter named Ashley Gorley. And if you've never heard of him, you should Google him, because he has more number ones than any songwriter in the history of songwriting in any genre. He has over 50. And so obviously he has like an empire outside of town.
He's right up there with Red Akins.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Red Akins beat by like 20 number ones, which is crazy to think about. But he has a spot outside of town that where he has a studio, and his house is right off the Harpeth River. And I ride a lot out there with him and Hunter and a guy named Ben Johnson. We wrote Truck out there. We wrote Give Heaven Some Hell out there. We wrote I Don't Know About You out there. There's and a lot of songs that are getting cut right now that will be out later this year. We've written a lot out there. So for some reason that has a really good creative energy out there. I guess it's just being out in the country, and we'll go out there for 2 or 3 days at a time and just bring a bag and just camp, like literally camp up out there and sleep on the couches. And I don't know. I think that's probably the most successful kind of creative area that I've ever written. So yeah.
What are you looking forward to that has nothing to do with any of your career right now, just personally for you?
Killing a good deer.
That crossbow.
Yeah, probably deer hunting this winter. It'll be nice. The one silver lining with all this is that when you tour all the time, you kind of give up your regular life, your mundane kind of life that you didn't really think you missed that much. And so the one silver lining with COVID is that a lot of us touring artists and stuff have gotten to really do a lot of the stuff that we normally would never be able to do. And one of those is just sitting in a deer stand and kind of seeing what, putting out cameras and seeing what kind of deer you got all over your property, and trying to pattern a buck and all that kind of stuff that's really time consuming, but it's really fun is something that I'm looking forward to, because I haven't got to do that in a few years.
It's the small things, isn't it? Yeah. Carrie, Did I get your question, by the way? Carrie, did I get to you? Okay. Hardy, listen, I know you've given us some extra time today, and you know what? We are freaking so excited for more hits from Hardy in the future. Real quick, as we wrap up, just what are you doing for the weekend? You got any big weekend plans tonight?
So I'm actually going to Athens, Georgia. Callie, my girlfriend's sister, goes to UGA, and it's parents' weekend, but her parents live all the way out in San Diego, and they couldn't make it. So I'm actually going to go pretend to be my girlfriend's sister's dad, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna nothing crazy, but we're going to like a dinner, and we're going to like one other thing, and just show some support, since her folks can't make it all the way out there.
That's cool. Hey, we appreciate your time and what you continue to do for country radio. We look forward to freaking hanging with you again. Everybody, make some noise for Hardy.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, my friend.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, back at you.
See you guys later.